Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thanks for joining us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter and Instagram. YouTube.com/Pat Gray on YouTube. Just click on the alarm there too, and you'll find out that will alert you whenever content is posted. So the jury in the Donald Trump criminal trial didn't deliver a verdict yesterday. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign, but no verdict reached yesterday. Maybe today.
Yeah, they asked for some transcripts, so we'll see. They're going to reconvene at 9:30 Eastern. So perhaps today's the day.
Maybe not. I don't know. I keep reading that they more than proved their case. That overwhelming evidence. I didn't see an ounce, a shred of evidence. They didn't have anything. I still don't know what the charges are. He said that yesterday. I don't even know what the charges are. Well, yeah, because they didn't specify them.
It's a kangaroo court, man.
Oh, it's so bad. It's really bad. It's such a miscarriage of justice. There's a poll on the Drudge Report. Is he guilty, not guilty, or should there be a mistrial? Like 22% said mistrial. I think that's, maybe that's a definite possibility of something that should have happened. But not guilty, I think was leading last I saw. Let me just see here. And, Drudge Report's pretty liberal now. The content is, anyway. I don't know about the people who read it.
Right.
But it's completely changed from where Matt Drudge used to be. It's not guilty, 42 to 35%. And then mistrial, 22. So, we'll see. Most people, at least on Drudge, believe him not to be guilty. So here is Ben Berquam with a couple of questions for Joy Reid.
It's classic.
Yesterday.
Joy, just wondering, do you think people with Trump derangement syndrome know they have it?
You're an idiot.
And second question, did you steal Trump's haircut? Or did he steal yours? Cultural appropriation haircut right there.
So
She didn't like that too much.
No.
Joy Reid, everybody.
Yeah.
Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah. So what was the
Full
first
swing.
question? It was.
And then the team, real American.
Okay, you can kill this now. We don't need all of this. Thank you. What would he say? Do people with Trump derangement syndrome know that they have it? Mm-hmm. And did you steal Trump's haircut, or did he steal yours? That's awesome. Good job.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yes,
that's funny. Also, Joe Biden gets to go campaign while Donald Trump is in the courtroom all day long. Ugh. Here, Biden lied about his visit to the Key Bridge in Baltimore. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
And look at all that's been changed. For example, the bridge went down over the Chesapeake.
Right. Yeah,
and,
but...
And we were there the next day. It was the governor.
No, you weren't. No. He was not there the next day. Why does he do this all the time?
I don't know.
When it's so easy to check. We were there the next day. No, you weren't. You were there a week later.
Yeah, usually his lies are decades in the past because he's been in D.C. for half a century.
Yeah.
But this one was just a couple months ago, man. We know.
Right. You know he wasn't there the next day. I mean, you know that just from memory. But then to look it up is pretty darn easy. Wow. Geez, he's awful. How much will that bridge cost?
Oh, let's see.
Look at that.
And we're rebuilding a $60 zillion bridge in Baltimore.
That's right. $60 zillion bridge. Because he can't get any numbers right, too. We know that. So he's not even trying now. A million, trillion, billion, gazillion. So he just goes to gazillion or whatever it was he said. A zillion.
Don't exaggerate, Pat.
It wasn't a gazillion?
No, it was a mere zillion.
I didn't mean to exaggerate. Okay. I apologize. He's bad enough as it is. You don't need to exaggerate his stuff. It's a $1 zillion bridge. Play that one more time. I want to make sure it was zillion.
Sure.
Let's make sure Keith was right here.
And we're rebuilding a $60 zillion bridge in Baltimore.
60 zillion. Right. Okay. $60 zillion.
How many zeros is that, Pat?
I don't know that there really is a zillion, but it would be a lot.
totally Googling that.
Yeah, Google that. See if that is that actually a figure.
Feels like deja
Is it a
vu.
number?
Yeah. Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm just so tired. Definition of zillion.
Okay.
I swear some liberal probably threw this up on the internet last night.
I bet they did. I bet they did.
No, here we go.
right.
A very large indefinite number.
It is indefinite?
Yeah,
or
usually used as an exaggeration.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It wasn't a real number.
Here are synonyms, though.
Okay.
See, so you were right, too.
Gazillion?
Bazillion.
Buzzillion.
Oh, wait, hold on. Bazillion, billion, gazillion, jillion, kazillion, million, trillion. All those are synonyms for zillion.
Okay. Well, good.
I still think a liberal threw this up there last night. It's too perfect.
Here's the Philadelphia Welcoming Committee.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry
for Joe Biden.
So now we can enlist knockoff like this crappy bootleg character type thing that you see in Times Square. Check out the Elmo.
Oh yeah.
This is so bad, man. What is happening? Stop! If you're listening, it's a marching band with a knockoff Elmo dancing with them. Now, if that's a Donald Trump rally, Sesame Street or PBS or somebody is like, no,
for sure.
Cease and desist.
Absolutely. Yeah, he can't play anybody's music. He certainly couldn't use a mascot like that or a Muppet or whatever. Also, Kamala Harris introduced Joe Biden
And I'll
to the crowd.
tell you, I have a
Look at him.
unique
Close your mouth.
position
Close your mouth.
as
Both of
vice president
both
to
of you.
spend a lot of time with our president.
Uh-huh.
And on this subject,
Must be terrible.
I remember sitting in the Oval Office
Listen to
with
this.
our president, Joe Biden, shortly after the United States Supreme Court struck down our initial plan to forgive billions of dollars in student loan debt.
Zillion.
A different leader,
Boo.
a different
We shouldn't
kind
have
of
to
leader
pay our
would
debt.
have thrown in the towel.
Oh.
Not Joe Biden.
Pause it. A different leader would have thrown in the towel. No, he would have paid attention to what the Supreme Court ruled. A rule of law president would have said, yeah, we can't do that. All right, we just got shut down by the Supreme Court. We'll have to do something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope, not him.
Oh no, not.
Are you kidding me?
And it's not like they're just doing this and letting it fly below the radar. They're out bragging about it. She introduced him with that, and then he gets up there and does the same thing.
Oh my gosh.
Supreme Court blocked me from relieving student debt.
Yeah.
But they didn't stop me.
They blocked him, but they didn't stop him. And again, he's bragging about it. Wait, I thought it was Trump that was going to destroy democracy. They've already done it.
Yeah, Trump's the
They're
dictator,
already
right?
doing it.
Trump's the dictator. That's what I've been told.
Yeah. This guy's an absolute dictator. An absolute tyrant. Unconstitutionally ignoring the U.S. Supreme Court ruling. It's really sad. And bragging about it at every stop now. How many times has he done this? Multiple times.
Yeah.
That we've played. He just doesn't care. Man, they do not care about the rule of law. It just pisses me off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and yet again, it's Trump. It's Trump who's running afoul of the law. It's Trump you have to worry about ruining democracy. It's Trump that's going to be a tyrant and a fascist. Are you kidding me?
I posted a list of some of the videos here that we have this morning on Twitter, and the audience have been weighing in this morning, and we're just curious. Where do you think your head has it? It's not exploded yet, right? We're getting there.
Yeah, it's on the verge.
It's on the okay.
It's
So
on the verge.
Stand by, y'all. It's getting there. Oh no, because we've only just begun the Biden clips.
We've only just begun to play all of the Biden clips.
Lies.
I don't know. Can we get through it? I guess he pandered yesterday too.
Oh my God.
I'm not sure I've seen
On
this
Memorial Day, I proudly stood with a black man.
Full stop.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah, we just got it there.
Memorial Day. I proudly stood with a black man.
I mean, you talk about pandering.
That's great.
Oh, and also in this speech, oh my gosh, this whole thing was just garbage. He talked about J6 and how the summer of 2020 was mostly peaceful.
Oh my gosh.
We couldn't put every clip in here or you would.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so he talked about how Trump wants to pardon these J6 protesters. You know who he wouldn't pardon from J6 is if they were black protesters.
What?
Yeah. Everything you can imagine in the world of pandering to blacks was mixed into this soup of just division yesterday.
No, but he's a uniter. He's going to bring America back together again.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Doing a really good job of that, isn't he?
He's good.
Here he was lying and screaming.
They're trying to erase black history. We're going to write black history because it's American history.
I don't know.
What?
They're trying to erase black
Who
history.
is?
We're going to write black history? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how white dude, old white dude,
is writing black history. I don't think they want him to, do they? They're trying to erase black history. Who is doing this? Who are these nebulous they?
Yeah, that would be 200 years of the Democrat Party that's been trying to erase black history.
No, we've been down that road a million times, too.
I know,
a million times. But every step of the way, it has been the Democrats. Every single step of the way. When blacks are being discriminated against, you can bet the people in power doing it are Democrats.
Yeah, I mean, it took a civil war, right, to free black people from the clutches of Democrats.
Yes. The reason that slavery wasn't eliminated initially in the U.S. Constitution was because of Democrats in the South.
So
they wouldn't allow it. Otherwise, it would have been gone immediately.
So refresh my memory, though. Who was it that started the KKK?
Well, that was
intimidate
Democrats.
Okay.
Yeah, Democrats.
Right. Well, who was it that segregated the armed forces?
Well, that was Democrat.
Oh, was it?
That was a Democrat named Woodrow Wilson.
Okay. So who filibustered the Civil Rights Act?
Those were Democrats.
Well, who's stopping school vouchers?
Democrats. Jim Crow.
Jim Crow. We blew right by Jim Crow.
Democrats.
I swear this is...
Democrats.
I can't take it.
Every step of the way.
So how's your head doing over there?
It's on the verge.
It's still on the verge.
It's
okay.
on the verge.
I got duct tape. I keep it in this drawer for moments like this.
Man. All right. So he had some brain malfunctions yesterday. Here's
surprise, right?
Here's one of them.
I promised we'd start to reconnect black and brown and overlooked neighborhoods cut off by highways in the 60s and decades of disinvestment as a consequence of it, including here in Philly. Well, we're changed that with the Recovery Act right now. You see all the construction going on the highways around here.
Nailed it. Right?
Yeah, he nailed it. And all the aggression with the right now in Philly.
What was this? Hold on.
Disinvestment is a consequence of it, including here in Philly. Well, we're changed that with the Recovery Act right now. You see all the construction going on the highways around here.
Right now.
Wow. And by the way, the construction going on, you any city you're in, you can go ahead and reference that.
Right.
And everybody can say, yeah, there's a lot of construction going on. He's right about that. That's what he was talking about.
And that's the thing that's so weird is that when I see construction, I'm pissed. Mm-hmm. Like, I need to get somewhere.
I know.
He's like, look at us. We're slowing down your commute, huh? Don't forget in November.
Oh, the Recovery Act is right now with the stuff going on.
He sucks.
Anyway.
Sucks.
And it happened again. There was more malfunctioning of that dead space.
Never forget.
Lying around.
And
him lying around, actually.
All right.
And him.
You got it?
Never forget. Lying around.
Yeah, follow.
And him.
It's easy to follow.
He's lying around mainly.
We'll never forget.
Okay.
Lying around.
Yeah.
And him lying around, actually.
And him lying around.
Oh, my
what?
goodness.
Oh, my. Gosh. There's no words.
He sucks.
There's just
so
no words.
much.
It's just self-explanatory, isn't it?
So much suck rolled into one human being.
And then he acts like it was the worst, most ridiculous question ever asked when somebody asked him yesterday if he could get through a second term.
Oh, we've got that.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll get to that in a minute then. Here he is on the internet.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
We
I
think.
promise to access affordable, high-speed internet, because now internet is just as important as it was in the days of Franklin Roosevelt. Electricity was generations ago. We're delivering now because
What?
no child should have to do their homework at McDonald's.
We know.
when things are shut down.
Oh, hold on. There's more.
Sit in the parking lot with their parent to get it done.
At McDonald's. Yeah. Don't
What
forget
is that McDonald's
he
thing?
loves
He's
the
so
McDonald's
hung
crap.
up on that.
I know. 'Cause-
What parents are going to McDonald's, sitting in the parking lot, getting on the internet with their kids? Oh, who did that?
Yeah,
Where
so-
did that happen?
So he heard that story. Some
Yeah.
staffer brought him a letter or something during
Gosh.
COVID that said, hey, we're not doing in-person schools, which whose fault was that? And we had to go and turn in an assignment, and our internet was down or whatever, so we had to go to a McDonald's parking
And
lot.
he acts like that's
Yeah.
an American condition.
Everybody does
You
that
know,
now.
Like everybody can relate to this. Remember when you used to go to remember during the Trump years when you went to the McDonald's and sat in the parking lot with your kids while they did their homework, sponging off McDonald's internet?
and we know
What?
what he was trying to say here, but that's not how this came out. This is awesome.
No, and it sounds like Roosevelt.
Yeah, Mr. Internet.
Had the
Roosevelt.
internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I promise to access affordable, high-speed internet, because now internet is just as important as it was in the days of
As it was in the
Franklin
days of
Roosevelt.
Franklin Roosevelt. Yep.
Yeah, you know the famous Roosevelt quote, the only thing we have to fear is 56 kilobits per second. That's a famous. You've heard this.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Many times. Dial up. Did he say 56 kilobits or did he say dial up?
Well, there's loose translations.
Okay.
I mean, it was a long time ago. It was the
did
early
he
days
say
of the
it in
internet.
Latin or something?
It was the early days of the internet.
Oh, okay.
So transcripts are sparse.
Yes.
Can't.
Oh my gosh. One more time through. This is priceless.
I promise to access affordable, high-speed internet, because now internet
Affordable,
is just as
high-speed.
important as it was in the
This
days
was in
of
the days of
Franklin
Franklin
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt.
Electricity was generations ago. We're delivering now because no child have to do their homework at McDonald's when things are shut down.
What?
Sit in the parking lot with their parent to get it done.
Okay, who shut it down? It was your teachers' unions, bro.
Unbelievable.
And it was you.
That's unbelievable. I mean, I thought we dealt with this with what's-her-face in North Carolina.
My name is Rhonda Locklear.
Rhonda.
I'm from Pembroke.
Didn't we already deal with
and I'm a
that?
member of the Lumbee tribe of
Right.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
I have two children.
Children.
And like any mother, I want the best for my boys.
Of course you do, Rhonda.
Jacob, my
Jacob,
oldest, is
her
a transferring
oldest.
student to UNC Pembroke.
Pembroke.
And Isaac is in the 8th grade at
Wow.
Pembroke Middle School.
Okay.
Like most families
Right.
across the state
Or
who
the-
either don't have access to high-speed internet
Right.
who can't afford it.
Or who can't afford it.
We were stuck with dial-up service
Stuck.
in our home.
Until just recently.
Well,
I feel that this has put my family,
Right.
my
At-
sons in particular,
It has.
at a severe disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Yeah, severe.
Isaac depends on the internet to complete his assignments for school.
Sure.
hey,
Yeah.
He often uses the internet
Often,
to work
at
on
times.
reports,
Reports.
projects, or often
surf
at
porn.
times to just do research.
Times research on chicks.
I watch him struggle with
Struggle.
the dial-up service
'Cause he's with
and
you
observed him get
in
frustrated.
the McDonald's parking lot.
Yeah, he got frustrated.
Awkward.
Yeah, really bad. Really, really bad. A tragic story that we've heard time and time again.
Since the days of Roosevelt.
Yeah, since the days of FDR. When people, that's when they first started going to McDonald's, trying to surf the web like they like.
Like they like.
And need to do. So they don't get frustrated
Okay.
like any mother.
I got bad news for you.
What?
I can't find my duct tape. It's missing. My keys were last week. So, I mean, masking
guess
tape's not going to do the trick.
Pieces of our skull are going to be all over this room then. It's unfortunate.
That's not
It's unfortunate.
Not good. Okay, so you've seen Joe Biden try to sound coherent and failing multiple times yesterday.
Miserably.
So just remember that as we get deep into this Joe Biden clip who was on The View yesterday. You love her. The
Jill's
doctor?
Terrific.
She's
Yeah,
the
Dr.
doctor.
Jill.
Yeah.
Dr. Jill.
So.
But first, I got to tell you about Balance of Nature, then we'll get to Jill. Dr. Jill.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we want to give her the proper respect.
Thank you.
You need to make sure that we all need to make sure we have the fruits and vegetables in our diet. That's important for maintaining our health. But it can also be difficult, especially if you're busy. The average person doesn't eat even half the recommended servings in a day of fruits and vegetables, which is a huge gap in our nutrition. Ooh. And inflation has really increased the cost of fresh fruit and vegetables. So Balance of Nature is there to provide on-the-go solutions for you. They haven't raised their prices for 10 years. Their proprietary blend of 31 fruits and vegetables come in easy-to-swallow capsules, and they're going to give your body so much of the nourishment you need. If you have a hard time eating vegetables like I do because they're just disgusting, then this is a great way to go and still get what you need, what your body needs to fuel yourself. When you go to balanceofnature.com, you'll get 35% off plus $10 off any additional sets with your first order as a preferred customer just by using my discount code PAT. That's limited to 5 sets, but you'll save a ton of money while getting the fruits and vegetables you need in your diet. Go to balanceofnature.com, promo code PAT to get 35% off. Balanceofnature.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, Joe Biden on the Coven yesterday, which is, that's a good combination.
A lot of clucking.
Dr. Jill and the witches on the Coven, that's great. Here's what happened.
Yeah, well, I happen to believe it's really important, more than ever, to have a debate with guardrails. What is the strategy that the president has going into this? Any tips you'd have for a debate that we could pull off where we could actually hear our candidates?
No, they built that in where they're going to turn off those mics so that somebody can't ramble or scream at somebody. Not that my husband would be the one doing that. No. And so that's already been negotiated. Okay. And, I think the American people deserve a debate because you need to see your choices. You need to see
that's for sure.
Trump and you need to see the president and you need to see the differences. And my husband's, and you're going to see how smart he is and the experience he has. Yeah. And then you'll see somebody who, like you're saying, I'm going to use Joy's words, can't put a sentence together. Right. And everything is beautiful and it's wonderful. Tremendous.
Big league.
You
catch that?
Tremendous. Yeah.
Trump can't put a sentence together.
Oh my gosh, that's outrageous.
The 2 men who are running for this office because your choice is going to be clear.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's for sure.
She got that right.
She got that part right. At the very end, she didn't lie.
Oh.
The choice is going to be very, very clear. It already is.
How could you possibly say?
I don't know.
Trump can't put a sentence together.
Don't know. I mean, does she ever see her husband in action? Do you hear this guy? Do you see him? Are you kidding me?
Oh.
Wow. Gosh. And of course, there was more from Biden yesterday. From Joe. Jeez. He again lied about being involved in the civil rights movement back in the 1960s. He can't make up his mind whether he was part of it. Did he march? Did he not march? He's said both. Here he was yesterday.
And so I got involved as a kid in the civil rights movement.
No, he didn't.
Philadelphians know this. At least the older ones do.
Okay.
Delaware was the only state in the nation, Wilmington the only city in America, occupied by the military for 9 months after Dr. King was assassinated.
What? Really?
That I don't know.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know. But he knows because he was on the front lines of the civil rights movement.
Right. Well, as a kid, he was doing it. That's interesting. Wilmington was the only city in America occupied by the U.S. military.
He said Philadelphia, right?
Oh, I thought he said Wilmington.
Oh, I don't know. Is that what he said?
And so I got involved as a kid in the civil rights movement because the Philadelphians know this.
Philadelphians
the older
know it.
ones do. Delaware was the only city.
Delaware was the only city.
Delaware was the city in America.
Okay, then he said Wilmington. After he said Delaware.
But
Okay.
Philadelphia is close to Wilmington, so they know, I guess.
Okay. Let's see. 9 months, yeah. National Guardsmen remained in Wilmington.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Okay, so he lies about being involved with the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
And then less than 10 minutes later, Pat.
Yeah.
He does it again.
Oh, my gosh. All right.
Like I said, in 1969, I got involved deeply in the civil rights movement. Those of you who are Pennsylvanians know that Delaware used to be a slave state and a southern state, and its attitudes. I mean, for real. We have the 8th largest black population as a percent of population of any state in the nation. And one of the things that amazed me was how the community stepped up when you gave it a shot.
So why did he get involved with the civil rights movement 5 years after the Civil Rights Act was passed? Because civil rights 64, and he said 69.
He did say 69. Yeah. That's so bad.
Get your lie right,
oh my
bro.
Gosh. He can't. He's incapable. He's just incapable. Wow. Okay, well, here's that part where he's asked if he can serve a full second term if he wins in November. Didn't like that question.
President Biden, will you be serving your full 4-year term or handing over power to Vice President Harris? All 4 years or handing over? I can't hear you. Could you approach?
He asked him if he fell on his head or something.
Yeah, he said, are you okay? Are you all right? You're not hurt, are you? I said, are you okay? Did you fall on your head or something? And he was pissed.
Yeah.
Because the guy asked him if he was going to...
Because that's so outrageous.
Yeah.
To think he might not be able to fulfill a second term. As decrepit as he is.
As I hear that again, I wonder if the reporter's asking if he's going to finish this one.
Oh.
Which, I mean, flip a coin. So either way, it's a legitimate question. Either way.
Either way. Yep. No doubt about it. It's something he should be thinking about, something he should have already stepped down and resigned over because he's clearly not capable. He's just not capable. Dennis Quaid was on Piers Morgan's show, and he was asked about Donald Trump. This won't be popular in Hollywood. Listen to this.
What do you think of Trump?
I think I'm going to vote for him.
Really?
Yeah, in the next election. Yes, I am.
Are you ready for the blowback?
Well, yeah.
If inevitably comes
well,
with Trump?
you know, I think in this election, everybody's got to, I think they're going to take a side or whatever, but it just seems to me, it just makes sense. I was ready not to vote for Trump until what I saw is more than politics. I see a weaponization of our justice system.
Yeah.
And a challenge to our Constitution.
Thank you. Yes.
Us as Americans that I don't think we're going to have. And, you know, Trump is the most investigated person probably in the history of the world.
Probably.
And they haven't been able to really get him. People might call him an asshole, but he's my
People call him an a-hole, but he's my a-hole. That's so good.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Can you imagine how he's going to be treated now in Hollywood? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, but I think he's at the point where he's like,
He probably doesn't care.
I don't care.
Yeah. What is he, 70 now?
Let's see here. All right. Yep.
Yeah. 70.
Right at it.
Yeah. I like Dennis Quaid, though.
Yeah, me too.
I like him. And I felt really bad for him when Meg Ryan cheated on him. That was really sad.
Oh, yeah?
Really sad. Yeah. With, what's his face? You know, from Gladiator.
Oh.
Yeah.
The guy.
Yeah, you know.
Russell
Crowe. Yeah.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah. That ended their marriage.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. All right. Much more fabulous information like that coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Got some tweets here. Carl Smith tweets, Trump jury still out? Yeah, the meals must be pretty good. Yeah, it's not tough to figure out. So that must be it. Biden, Bunter Hayden, crack connoisseur. By the time Baltimore squanders the money on that bridge build, it might just turn out to be a zillion. It's possible. From Timothy Lanham, zillion is really a metric term. They also use zillion for how long it takes to score in soccer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see that. So like a zillion minutes,
Yeah.
a zillion hours.
Oh, that sport.
So bad. Another Biden lie from earlier in the week that we need to address that Pathead Quick Rick noticed. Pat, the worst part, it was actually from one of these lies.
Oh, by the way,
yeah,
I'm all Navy, but
It's all
I
Navy.
was appointed to I was going to go play at the Naval Academy until I found out the other guys in the backfield were a guy named Roger Staubach and Joe Bellino. So I decided to go to Delaware.
Oh, I see. Okay. Doesn't make any sense. But he says, Pat, the worst part of Biden's lie about Navy is Joe Bellino played there in the 50s.
Yeah.
And Roger Staubach played there in the 60s.
Yeah.
They didn't even play in the same backfield. They weren't even there together. Oh, my gosh. I'm not familiar with Joe Bellino. Are you?
No.
Yeah, never heard of him until the Biden stuff.
No, and so Bellino's last year was 1960, and he won the Heisman. And then,
wow, he was a Heisman Trophy winner?
Yeah, there's a picture of him here with a Heisman.
Wow.
And then Staubach's first season was 61. And so they weren't in the backfield at the same time.
He can't even get his lie straight.
His lies are compounded upon lies.
Oh, wow.
It's just the worst.
And again, even if they did play in the same backfield, it wouldn't have made sense because he didn't play in the backfield.
Thank you. That's the other thing.
He didn't. He was a wide receiver.
Yeah, I don't want other good players on my team at different positions.
Right.
I mean, what do you think? I want to win games?
What?
Come on now.
Unbelievable. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
His lies don't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we've got a nun commenting on the 2024 election here.
It's very interesting.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm sure the Pope will crack down on her for daring to support Trump.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is
an
going to be
election year in the U.S. In normal times, an election is the moment when ordinary people can take back control of their nation's destiny.
Mm-hmm.
But these are not normal times. Across the globe, men and women are waking up to the alarming truth that governments no longer serve God or the people. And beloved, I'll interrupt to say myself that if President Trump gets in, it's a complete act of God. If Biden is not reelected, it is a complete act of God because every scheme and every evil is out there that he would continue to be our president, as inept and evil as he is.
Nice.
At least done evil things.
No, you had it right.
And those that surround him and advise him and even direct him, the devil is wise. And I would not put it past them to do anything. I know that recently someone has made a motion that no one should be able to vote who cannot prove U.S. citizenship. I totally agree with that. But there are those in the Democratic Party who do not. So we are up against not just an election, but an absolute war for good against good and evil.
Wow. Really true.
Has the Pope called her yet?
Oh, my gosh.
Pull her aside to the Vatican?
I think the Catholic police are on the way.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably sent the Catholic police there to arrest her.
Remember the priest here in Texas who was posting stuff?
Yeah, didn't he get...
Yeah, they cut him loose.
Excommunicate him or just cut him out of the priesthood or something?
I forget what the term was, but yeah. He lost his gig.
Yeah.
But I like...
wow.
Those were some simple truths from...
yeah. Don't know her name.
The Flying Nun, I believe, is.
Oh, okay.
No idea. Anyway, good stuff.
Yeah, she's right. She's absolutely right. So this flew under the radar last week.
Oh, yeah.
West Virginia Senator Shelley Moore on the campus protests. Check this out.
Well, I wanted to bring to everybody's attention something that doesn't get much attention. And you've heard the term follow the money.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked up where did follow the money. I thought it was from a Tom Cruise movie, but it wasn't. It was from Watergate.
That's short.
And follow the money is what they did in Watergate. And we saw what happened. So my young staffer, who's very bright, and I see him over there, Adam Pack,
Hey, Adam.
followed the money. And the money is from the so-called Inflation Reduction Act.
What?
So in the name of green and environmental justice, there's over $40 billion that are going to be granted out through the EPA. So, with this great research that was done, what was discovered that in December, the EPA granted $50 million to an organization called Climate Justice Alliance. So we went to the website of Climate Justice Alliance. This is what we found on the website, that our taxpayer dollars are going to organizations such as this. This, at the bottom, is a picture of the bulldozer that went through the fence when Hamas attacked Israel on October the 7th.
Oh, my God.
They have a rendering on their website. It says decolonize Palestine, and it has a picture of that same bulldozer going through that fence. If you dig deeper, they want to defund the police, defund the military, either them or their affiliates want to have very radical, drastic initiatives that I think are anti-American. And they're certainly anti-Israel and anti-Semitic. So the Biden administration doesn't seem to care. $50 million in December. Who knows how much more in the future, and other like groups, because there are other associated groups with this group. There's no inspector general for EPA to follow the money because they don't care. Because all they care about is the mission, the climate mission, no matter what the radical ideas that are associated with the groups. So then you could ask yourself, is this group really going to be funding climate, cleaning up the water and cleaning up the soil and cleaning up the air? Or are they going to be funding things like the protests they had in Hart just several weeks ago, where several of them were arrested? So follow the money. We're going to be doing that in the Environment and Public Works Committee. That's where the derivation of this was. And I find it rather startling to me that the EPA is not doing, and the administration are not doing any better research as to where our American taxpayer dollars are going.
No, because they don't care.
Isn't that neat?
They don't care about any of that.
Is it that they don't care, or did they specifically set up something like the Green New Deal to fund this kind of radicalism?
Wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, here you go. I mean, you're waking up early this morning to go to work, working your ass off to pay your taxes under threat of force. That's going to go to the government. The government is giving this through these bills that are passed, like the Green New Deal, to these radical groups by design. I don't think they don't know. I think it's all by design from before it even passed, to destroy America. But so help me, if you aren't going to work and paying your taxes to help us destroy America, then we're going to lock you up. And you can just watch the nation burn from behind bars. I mean, this is insane, man.
Sure is. These protests. I mean, the supreme leader of Iran's Islamic Revolution, the Ayatollah, just hailed all these American college students, these buffoons who are protesting Israel and supporting Hamas, and he applauded them. Okay, this is the Ayatollah Khamenei from Iran, not the one from 1979. This is another Khamenei, for standing on the right side of history. You know, if you're being applauded by the Ayatollah of Iran, you're not on the right side of history. He said, "Dear university students in the United States of America, you are standing on the right side of history," in his post on X yesterday. Wow. Okay, so even he is on Twitter. That's great. I love that. "You have now formed a branch of the resistance front and have begun an honorable struggle in the face of your government's ruthless pressure, a government which openly supports the usurper and brutal Zionist regime." The Supreme Leader claimed that America and Britain imported terrorists into the region after the World Wars. After the World War, the capitalist Zionist network gradually imported several thousand terrorists into the land with the help of the British government. These terrorists attacked cities and villages, murdered tens of thousands of people, and pushed out multitudes into neighboring countries. They seized homes, businesses, and farmlands, formed a government in the usurped land of Palestine, and called it Israel. Yeah, that's not what happened. But nice try. He said that the global Zionist elite have labeled the courageous, humane resistance on college campuses as terrorism. So, yeah, you got the Ayatollah on your side, college kids. Congratulations. And not just the Ayatollah in Iran, Al-Qaeda has thanked you as well. That's great. While we support the assassination of the infidel Zionists and the beheading of them, we also appreciate and value the movement of Western demonstrators and sit-in students from Western universities who, through their sit-ins and protests, expressed their rejection of the genocide taking place in Gaza. That's from Al-Qaeda, so they're appreciative of your efforts, too. You're in really good company on these college campuses. Congratulations. That's really great. How proud you and your families must be. The Ayatollah Khomeini in Iran and Al-Qaeda both salute your efforts.
It says everything right there.
Yeah, you know you're on the right side of history there, don't you? Mm-hmm. Let me tell you about Backyard Butchers. You know the majority of your grocery store's meat aisle was imported from some random country or countries from overseas? Yeah, it's some kind of mystery meat, even mixed with other meats of different origins and put together, and then sometimes packaged here so they can call it a product of the USA. Slap that sticker on there. That just means it was wrapped here. It didn't come from here. So cut out the frustration from the meat aisle and go to backyardbutchers.com. Save an extra 20% off your entire order by using the code UNLEASHED. And when you subscribe, you'll get an additional 10% off and free shipping. Go to backyardbutchers.com/unleashed. With over 500,000 happy customers across the U.S. and hundreds of 5-star reviews. It's American-based. They've got customer service team of stay-at-home moms, in fact, that will make sure your orders are delivered right on time every single month. So get the person in your home who buys the groceries to go to backyardbutchers.com/unleashed and buy all U.S. American meat today. It's raised right here in the United States. It's grown here. You know what you're getting when you go to Backyard Butchers. And when you subscribe, you save an extra 10% as well. Backyardbutchers.com/unleashed. Get 20% off your entire order when you subscribe. So it's 20%. And you get an additional 10% off and free shipping as well. Backyardbutchers.com/unleashed.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yeah, speaking of these radicals that are out protesting Israel, in Mexico City, not only did they protest, but in a mostly peaceful demonstration.
Okay. All right.
They also set fire to the Israeli embassy.
Okay.
But it was mostly peaceful. Here's what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see it. It's mostly peaceful.
We just do this because we want peace.
Yeah.
We espouse violence and destruction and then show up and do this kind of stuff. But we just want the peace. That's all we want.
Right. We just want that Palestinian state that was rejected 70 years ago. That's all we want, though.
It's bad enough that we have to hear them chanting in Arabic? Thank you. Or something along those lines. Farsi comes into play, but now we got to do it in Spanish, too? I'm not learning that.
I'm not going to be happy until it's chanted in every language on this planet.
Oh, give it time.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unbelievable. Jeez.
That's good.
Here's Jerry Seinfeld after visiting Israel.
Oh, gosh.
After October 7th.
You were in Israel since the war started. How was that trip?
The most powerful experience of my life.
Really?
I'm sure, yeah.
Why?
You just...
Are you thinking of someone in particular?
Sorry.
Wow. So he couldn't even speak.
Says it all.
So emotional about it.
We know that he's seen the footage, too.
Wow. Yeah.
From October 7th.
Really horrible. I mean, it's really...
You have. I mean, you can speak to it, but you probably have the same reaction.
Yes.
Speechless. But yet we've got people setting fire to...
The Israeli
embassy.
Yeah.
What a mad world,
because they're the genocidal maniacs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. It's unbelievable. It really is. So we've got Benjamin Netanyahu from a few years ago.
Oh, my goodness. This is from the 70s?
Yeah.
He's 28 years old, and he's discussing the Palestinian state, the possibility of a Palestinian state.
Do we have time for it here?
No,
or do we need
it's
to
long.
wait?
It's quite long.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
but
right.
It's fascinating.
We'll get to that coming up.
Yeah.
Jeez. But
the world makes no sense, Pat.
It doesn't. It doesn't. And we've pretty much gotten a fairly strong dose of it this hour, have we not?
Yeah.
Between our president and the buffoons who are protesting in favor of Hamas. Yeah, it's tough to take. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Got some tweets here. Einar Thunderson tweets, Biden promised affordable internet access. How about affordable groceries and gas? Now, these poor people can't even afford to get to the McDonald's for their internet access, much less afford to eat there.
A fair point.
Uh-huh. The Banana Republic of America. I thought Al Gore invented the internet. I'm so confused.
Oh.
I know.
No, that was FDR.
Oh, wow.
That's what we've learned from Joe Biden.
Right. Although Al Gore did say he took the initiative and invented the internet. The senator, I took the initiative and invented the internet. And, of course, then I started crusading against our SUVs. Sarah the Band tweets, follow the money. Shelley Moore talks a good game. That's all they do. Talk.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
Similar to Nancy's vodka-soaked dentures. Talking about the Shelley Moore presentation. I'm sure it'll be followed up with a sternly worded letter.
Seriously, is that we're going to hear about this? Follow the money? And then
nothing ever comes of it.
Now we're done.
Adrian Slade, I would say that if a fraudulent installed regime passes a bill that takes taxpayer dollars and funds nefariously named legislation to pay a terror network to bring down an ally whose land was mandated by God, that's the definition of evil.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Speaking of that land, we're going to play you the leader of that land, the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, from back when he was 28 years old, talking about the Palestinian state.
Let me quote you what the PLO Information Office said in a Dutch paper in 1977, in May 5th.
77?
May 5th, 1977, yes. The statement was very simple. Our objective remains the destruction of the Zionist state of Israel. So let's keep in mind that what we're talking about here is not the attempt to build a state, but to destroy one.
Do the Palestinians have a right to a separate state?
Now, no one is denying that there are Palestinian Arabs. There's a very distinguished Palestinian Arab sitting right next to me. But the Palestinians themselves, in the Palestinian National Covenant, the very first article, say that the people of Palestine, quote, are part of the Arab nation. Well, let's look at the Arab nation. It has 21 states, an area roughly the size of the United States, and 1/6 of the entire world's wealth. Now, add to that the fact that there already exists a Palestinian state, and that is Jordan, 60% of whose population is Palestinian.
Thank you.
It's,
Yes.
I think it's quite interesting that Yasser Arafat and King Hussein, who are bitter enemies, agree on one thing, that Jordan is a Palestinian state. So what we're talking about is a demand for a 22nd Arab state and a second Palestinian state.
What should be done with the Palestinians on the West Bank? There's a problem, so what should be done about it, in your opinion?
Well, I think that the Palestinians in the West Bank are going to be offered the full human rights, the full civil rights, as no Arabs are offered in the Middle East. No Arabs whatsoever have any full human rights or the right to vote for their own government. Those Arabs who lived in Israel in the pre-67 boundaries are the only Arabs in the Middle East who are offered that right, and I'm all in favor of having the same Arabs living in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip being offered such a right in the final peace agreement.
Can we have peace in the Middle East?
Very briefly, please.
Yes, I sincerely hope so. Look, I'm 28 years old. I've had to defend my country in 2 wars and in many battles. Nobody wants peace more than Israel. But the stumbling block to the road for peace is this demand for a PLO state, which will mean more war, which will mean more violence in the Middle East. And I sincerely believe, if this demand is abandoned, we can have real and genuine peace.
Thank you.
Wow. That's just powerful stuff from a very young Benjamin Netanyahu.
And his voice hasn't really changed.
No. Sounds the same. Sounds the same. He's right about all of it. It'd be nice if people would learn the history of this situation. You know, everything from they were given a Palestinian state in 1947 and rejected it, to Jordan has twice as much Palestinian territory as does Israel, to Jordan is a Palestinian state. And none of the Arab states want anything to do with the Palestinians. They won't take them in. Why should Israel? It's incredible. I mean, it's incredible. I know. On and on and on that madness goes. And yet you still have people setting fire to Israeli embassies in Mexico City. And you've got all these elitist universities with their stupid students who know nothing about the situation, protesting in favor of Hamas and the Palestinians.
Yeah, and there was a Jewish school in New York City yesterday where a 58-year-old man was driving a Crown Vic and trying to run down students in front of this Jewish school. Anti-Semitic attack, obviously. But anyway,
if that was the other way around, who would they be blaming? Yeah. They'd be blaming, talk radio. Biden, who knows?
And thankfully, the kids were able to run inside the school for safety
good thing.
Before
he could run over them.
Yes.
Jeez.
What a world.
Also, we got updates on a couple of criminals for you. This 19-year-old Dylan Brewer.
Oh, the manhunt is over in Florida. Busted.
Yeah, they found him. Thank goodness. Because you
can't have people like this running free.
Menace to society. He was charged with a felony for allegedly doing burnouts on the Alphabet Communities mural in Delray Beach, Florida.
Yeah.
They claim he caused over $1,000 damage
and that'll earn
to the mural that was on the pavement.
That'll earn you a felony in Delray Beach.
Apparently, the alleged tire marks have vanished. Now, they're more than alleged. We saw them.
Yeah.
We saw them
Yeah, we did.
on the mural.
But now they're gone. And
How'd
so
they-
everybody should move on.
Did somebody just
I don't know.
wash it, pressure wash it, or did they
Windex.
repaint it?
Just Windex.
Windex.
And like a paper towel.
Okay.
On the pavement.
All right.
And they're done.
I'm glad it came out.
Yeah, that is.
That was atrocious. That
It's
was
a
like
felony
That
they're
was like
charging.
genocide. That was genocide.
19-year-old getting charged with a felony for that.
For doing, come on.
It's already cleaned
For
up.
doing donuts.
It's already cleaned up.
On the street. So ridiculous. My gosh. But also, an update on Scottie Scheffler. Man, we got him off the streets too, which was important. Everybody was scared to death that Scheffler might have been roaming the streets free, and we didn't want that.
Yeah, he was in a tournament actually over the weekend, and so it's like, what are you doing free?
Is there a trail of dead bodies behind you? Because you're frightening. You're a frightening man.
Yeah.
Well, all charges have been dropped against number one golfer in the world,
Surprise.
Scottie Scheffler. This was a total overreaction by the officer who didn't turn his body cam on. So they have no choice, really, but to drop the charges. It was overcharged from the beginning, and it was an embarrassment for the local police.
Yeah, it was.
And for the officer in charge, who was just pissed off that he didn't immediately stop when he was told to. But come on, assault on a police officer and all that? Give me a break.
Come on.
Yeah, that was ridiculous from the start. Also, we had Bill Walton, who passed away just a couple days ago. Really sad. 2 years ago at a San Diego City Council meeting, he spoke about the homeless in the area. Check this out.
Things are worse now than ever before, and our lives are being dictated by an out-of-control and unruly homeless population. Every time I go out on my bike, I'm threatened, chased, attacked, and assaulted by homeless people. Our mail and deliveries are stolen from our front door. We are not able to move freely through our neighborhood or Balboa Park. This is not what we bought into in our special compact with Todd Gloria. I have asked Todd Gloria what I can do to help. I got no response. I have asked Todd Gloria what he was going to do to rectify this horrific human tragedy and travesty. I got no response. I have asked Todd Gloria if he recommends to me, as a 69-year-old disabled bike rider, should I carry tear gas, pepper spray, maybe a taser for my own protection? I got no response.
Wow. So he's been accosted by homeless while biking around San Diego. Wow.
It's interesting to see Bill Walton in that kind of setting.
7'3" guy on a bike.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. That is.
Must be an interesting sight. But the homeless situation is completely out of control in every city.
Yeah.
In every American city, we've let it get completely out of control. They can set up camp wherever they want. They can accost people who walk by or bicycle by or whatever. People are in danger because of this. A lot of them are mentally ill. We got to do something about it. And they won't. They're just allowed to set up camp wherever they please. That wasn't the case until very recently. Why have we allowed it to get to this point? And you got, NBA legends, Hall of Famers talking about it, and it still didn't make any difference. They still didn't do anything about it. Also, they're not doing anything about the illegal alien situation, which is also completely out of control. In New York City, the hotel rates are skyrocketing. They're at record highs. Why? Because 1 in 5 New York City hotel rooms are being used to house illegal aliens.
Wow.
Yeah. So New Yorkers and visitors to New York are not really pleased about it. In late 2022, as thousands of illegals began to arrive in New York City, city officials scrambled to find places to house them. They quickly found takers. hotels that were struggling to recover from the pandemic. Dozens of hotels, from once grand facilities to more modest establishments, closed to tourists and began exclusively sheltering the illegals, striking multi-million-dollar deals with the city. The humanitarian crisis became the hotel industry's unexpected lifeline in New York. The hotels became a safe haven for tens of thousands of asylum seekers. Isn't that great? 2 years later, as the city's peak tourism season is about to begin, the crisis has helped dramatically shift the hotel landscape in New York City. The conversion of hotels to shelters has sharply decreased the supply of hotel rooms, just as tourist demand has risen nearly to pre-pandemic levels, and it's projected to match a record high, and there's just nowhere to put anybody. They just did a poll about New Yorkers and how they're affected by the illegal alien situation. Only 8% of New York City residents feel like they haven't been impacted negatively.
Good.
8%.
Good. Feel it.
Thank you.
I want you to feel it.
Yes, welcome to our world. Now you know what it's like. Now you know how it feels, and now you know what the issue is. It's not racism, and it's not xenophobia. It's something else, isn't it? All right. The trustworthiness of Anthony Fauci has been up for debate for a long time. I think you and I know that. Despite the media's campaign to defend his character, there's a lot of suspicious stuff going on behind the scenes. We know that they lied about COVID. We know that stats were inflated. And we know that Fauci is tied into all of it. If scientists, doctors, or journalists spoke out against Fauci, they were silenced immediately. But why? What is the COVID mafia trying to hide? And how was this messaging so perfectly coordinated so quickly? Well, that's why we teamed up with Free the People to release The Cover-Up. It's a docuseries available now on Blaze TV. It exposes Fauci for exactly what he is, a liar. Watch this 2-minute trailer.
I got the news and saw in the news all of these things happening about this virus from China.
I'm obsessed with the biggest public policy failure of my lifetime.
Gain of function is a scientific experiment to ask, how much do we need to change this sequence so that it will infect humans?
That's a death wish basically for civilization. It's a risk or a gamble, not just for a few people, not for a few thousand, but for millions and millions of people. It's a risk we shouldn't be taking.
This isn't just a failed government response to a dangerous pandemic. There's something much bigger going on.
It was crazy. It was absolutely outside of my experience. Like, I started getting death threats.
What don't they want us to know?
In fact, the government was telling social media companies who and what to censor. They need to create an illusion there was a consensus behind the lockdowns.
Together, we're going to get to the bottom of this web of deception and lies.
So someone like Tony Fauci, very famous, you don't want to cross him. You just don't.
So this is, basically to me, the smoking gun.
I said, the boat is effing capsized. People are dying. I'm not going to shut up.
It's time to pull back the curtain on the cover-up.
You don't want to miss this. We want you to be armed with the truth before Fauci and the rest testify and try to distort all the facts. So go to FauciCoverup.com/Pat. FauciCoverup.com/Pat. Use the code FauciLied to get $30 off your annual subscription to Blaze TV. Do that right now. Also, coming up, we got to tell you about the Florida grand jury that found 3 pretty big problems with COVID authorities during the pandemic. We'll get into that as well coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
We were just talking about the Fauci movie coming to Blaze TV. In Florida, a grand jury released its second interim report on its investigation into potential wrongdoing by COVID shot manufacturers and all of the authorities who promoted the vaccine. It was requested by Governor DeSantis and authorized by the Florida Supreme Court. So the grand jury was tasked with determining whether pharmaceutical manufacturers and their executive officers and other medical associations or organizations participated in criminal activity or wrongdoing in their involvement with the development, approval, or marketing of COVID-19 vaccines. Okay, so here's what they found. First, COVID patients gain natural immunity through infection. Who knew? Oh, that's right, everybody. Everybody knew. But they acted like you were a conspiracy nut job if you talked about it.
Yeah. Everybody that didn't have financial gain at stake knew.
Infection-derived immunity, or natural immunity, isn't anything new. Everybody's always known about it. As noted by the grand jury, the human body acquiring natural protection from harmful antigens via infection is a concept that's existed for thousands of years. Yes. Now, no human had previously been infected with COVID-19 until, 2019, right? Late 2019 in China, and then it spread here in about early 2020. I think the first infection in the United States might have even been in December of 2019. If I remember correctly. I don't know. But it was late 2019 or early 2020. Okay? But there were, like my son, for instance, had, what was the infection that was it? Pig flu? That's a swine flu. Yeah, the swine flu. My son got that in 2010. And so he had some immunity to the SARS virus and didn't get it. So I think some people who got that in 2009 or 2010, whatever it was, had some sort of immunity. But regardless, if you got COVID, then you built up an immunity to it. You had the natural immunity. And everybody knew that. And again, they acted like it was the dumbest thing they'd ever heard if you even brought it up.
You were made to feel stupid.
Yep.
Even though you were right the whole time.
So, number two, the second thing they found after the natural immunity thing was the government experts attacked potential COVID treatments.
Yep.
Like, ivermectin, for instance. While the grand jury noted the difficulty in finding effective treatments for a new virus amid a global outbreak, it lamented how some government officials committed avoidable mistakes when it came to messaging and communication with the American people about potential early treatment options. Among the most notable was the expert class war against hydroxychloroquine, right? Mm-hmm. And, of course, ivermectin. The jury noted how some well-credentialed scientists and clinicians were dissatisfied with the data the Food and Drug Administration used to justify its decision to revoke emergency use authorization of hydroxychloroquine for treating COVID patients. And they chose to prescribe the drug to patients based on the data they were examining. And there was even talk of taking away doctors' medical licenses if they prescribed the stuff.
Yeah.
Either hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin. It's horse-paste. These quacks are prescribing horse-paste. The grand jury said it does not believe it was unreasonable for doctors to include these medications in an early outpatient treatment regimen for COVID-19, given the drug's long history of relatively safe use and the ever-changing nature of the science. And that's for sure. In fact, was it 2015 that ivermectin won a Nobel Prize for medicine? I think it was either 2015 or 2016.
Yeah, right in there. Yep.
So,
yeah, what you've read so far is basically the indictment in Robert Kennedy's book, The Real Anthony Fauci. I mean, this lays out the evil and the insidiousness that occurred here.
It's so good. And this is, third-party agency tasked by the government to look into it, and here's what they came up with, this grand jury. Number 3, expert and media lies put lives at risk. Mm-hmm. Above all, the grand jury highlighted how government health experts and legacy media's efforts to squash debate about the efficacy of drugs like ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine created an avoidable scenario in which individuals who felt they were being lied to took matters into their own hands. Some people became so desperate to get this supposed miracle drug, so sure they were being lied to, that they began to resort to doses and formulations of the drug meant for animals, resulting in a number of well-publicized ivermectin overdoses. Okay. I mean, that was maybe part of it, but the other thing was people didn't take it at all, who could have been helped by it. Lives could have been saved by it. This was a profound failure of public health messaging. We lay every overdose that occurred at the feet of those who authored this campaign of vilification, according to the grand jury. I mean, it's despicable what happened here, and it's great that DeSantis did this, that he put together a grand jury to indict these idiots.
And being that they're in a state, I guess, I'm just trying to figure out how this would play out. Like, are they ever going to be... Well, we all know the answer.
No.
Keith, come on.
No. You already... Yeah, you know the answer before you even ask the question.
I want to know, like, what's the next step? If you're indicted, do you drag Fauci to a Florida court?
I would like to see that. But do I have any faith that will happen? No. No, I do not.
I represent science.
This is Pat Gray, Unleashed.
Got some tweets here. Padalack head tweets. And of course, from this.
After I signed the Pact Act into
I love that.
Worst.
Oh, I love that, though. That's one of the best of all time.
After I signed the Pact Act into...
And trading in my Chevy for a Cadillac Act. FDR invented high-speed internet, but Alexander Graham Bell invented dial-up.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, okay. I'm sure Joe will correct that mistake in his next speech. I'm sure he will, yeah. Is that true? I didn't realize that. Is that right? Does he have that right?
Let me check that.
Okay,
quick.
check
I'll
that.
Fact check it.
Okay.
Yep, it's right.
All right, good. Gender face. Wow, I'd say Glenn Beck and his chalkboard have some competition now with Keith Melanak, and his marker board. Very thorough, Keith. Very thorough. Look at that. There it is. Very thorough.
Yeah, tweeted this out at Pat Unleashed.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like to share that with your friends who need an educating on how government is...
It's pretty complex. I don't know if they'll get it, though.
Using you to destroy this government.
Unrepentant thought criminal. Note to Hamas hole supporters. If Iran and Al-Qaeda are on your side, you're on the wrong side of history. Yeah, it's exactly what we were saying.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty similar.
Pretty similar to what we actually said. But yes, that's right. The Honorable I'm a Lickin' Butter. So it was peace rocks those protesters were throwing? Yes. Mostly peaceful rocks.
Mostly peaceful rocks. I like it.
Mostly peaceful fire and mostly peaceful rocks.
I see.
Rowdy introvert, we can't fund building a wall on the southern border, but we have more than enough money to pay dozens of green NGOs to facilitate the destruction of this great republic. We're screwed. And Lone Wolf 2965. I predict the $1,000 damage to the Florida street painting will end up costing $25,000 plus to repair.
Oh,
that's the way it always goes, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sure. All right. Yesterday, we already played one cut. I don't think we can. I don't think there's any way we could stand a second. But yesterday on the Coven, Whoopi also told Jill Biden that Donald Trump would probably jail the View witches if he wins. Did you see that part of it?
No. Oh my God. Okay. Well, I'm sure. I mean.
Oh my gosh.
Is there a charge that they're expecting to?
Well, just because he doesn't like what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
He would jail them for speaking out against them. You know, Here's the thing, though. We have precedent for a Trump presidency, right? I mean, he was the president of the United States for 4 years, and they did criticize him every day during those 4 years. How many members of the coven did Donald Trump imprison during that time? Wait, just carry the one and
need a
bring
calculator.
Down the two.
You want I got a calculator.
You do? Yeah. None.
Oh, none?
Yeah, 0. That's some great fear-mongering by Whoopi Goldberg. And this is what the Democrats have been doing. Well, if he gets he's going to be a dictator, he's not going to leave.
Yeah.
Where are you getting that?
That was the insane stuff. Well, there was so much insane stuff that we played yesterday from Robert Douchenero. Is him saying, if Trump is back in the White House, he'll never leave.
I guarantee it. He won't leave. What are you talking? How is he going to pull that off?
You guys used every possible means to get him out of there.
And he thought he didn't lose last time,
right, and he
left. The moving van pulled up to the White House and got his stuff and drove it away back to Florida. He left. And so, yeah, there's not much he can do. Even if he thinks he didn't lose, he would still leave.
Man.
There is no mechanism by which a president of the United States can lose the election and stay in office. It doesn't exist in this country.
I mean,
it can't happen.
The Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, and the fear-mongering. What happened to fear-mongering? Oh, these Republicans are fear-mongering. You talk about fear-mongering, that's all they're doing with Donald Trump right now. It is ludicrous. The things they're saying and getting away with saying.
And it's only May.
Yeah. Oh, man. Wait.
We got a summer ahead, and then we got the home stretch. We got debates. Oh, boy.
Well, and Biden's just making up all kinds of crap. He's just spewing everything that can possibly come to mind and just spitting it out of his stupid face. At least, Bill Maher is calling out some of this nonsense. Here's Bill Maher on Democrats. Is this the last show he did, which is, I don't even know when his show is on. Is it Sundays? Saturdays?
I think it's on Friday nights. Friday nights. This was him sitting down with CNN.
Okay.
So I'm going to call it out wherever I see it. I mean, there are things that have to do with, gender and race and free speech and just ideas about, you can be healthy at any weight, and gender is always a social construct, and maybe we should give communism another try, and maybe we should get rid of capitalism and the border patrol, and let's tear down statues of Lincoln and get rid of the police. Just, no. It's not that I've gotten old. It's that your ideas are stupid. Okay?
I love
talking about
that.
His own Democrat Party.
Love that. He just named, 15 things there that are intolerable, even to Bill Maher. So that tells you how far off the reservation the Democrats have gone. I mean, they're completely out of their minds.
Yeah.
We've said this many times. They talk about how radical and extreme the Republican Party has gotten. Geez, you've gotten so radical that even Bill Maher can't hang with you anymore. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And speaking of Democrats, John Cornyn was just asked about...
Yeah.
See what we did there?
See what you did?
He's not actually a Democrat.
Oh,
he just
sure
acts
he's
like
not.
one.
Okay.
Yeah. But he was asked about his possible running for re-election in 2026. Here's his weird response.
Pay very close attention to the end here.
Regardless of what happens in the leadership race, are you certain that you will run for re-election in 2026?
Yeah, he's running in 2026. Okay.
Do you think the Pakistan... God willing.
Well, yeah, I mean, exactly.
Senator, what does it cost?
Inshallah.
What does...
Did you catch that? He said, God willing, and then he said, Inshallah.
That's what I thought he said, yeah. Inshallah, the
Which
Muslim
means
thing.
if Allah wills it. Total normal response for
yeah, that is weird.
Christian.
That is very weird.
Inshallah. Where
did that come from,
I'm totally
man?
doing that today. I'm going to find a place to mix that in.
All right,
just in a normal conversation.
Anytime you can mix in inshallah or bishmola, like in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Right.
It works. It works.
I'm going to mix that in just in my daily walk. I know I've got a doctor's appointment I'm heading to after the show here.
Oh.
I'm going to figure out some way to mix in inshallah and just see what happens.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Weird. Really weird.
I'll try to record the...
How old is that guy, by the way? Because he's getting up there, too. And can we stop with the super aged running for office again for another 6-year term? Stop!
72. So by the time he runs
2 years, he'll be 74.
Yeah, so he would be almost 81 by the time he would be out of that next term he's talking about running for, inshallah.
Well, he's a youngster in the Senate then. I mean, I thought it was going to be worse than that. But 80, 81, that's fine. That's fine.
And again, that's if he runs again and then wins.
Well, God willing, inshallah.
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 That's making me hungry for an enchilada. Now I want Mexican for lunch. Inshallah.
I hope that didn't bring on an intifada against you, or whatever.
Okay.
Bishmallah.
Stay strapped. Inshallah.
Weird. What a weird world we're in right now, isn't it?
I don't understand
It's just so bizarre. Nobody asked him, John, where did that come from?
Whoa. I know somebody else here has got a question, but hold on one second, Houston Chronicle.
Where did that come from?
What was that again you just did, Senator?
Yeah. I mean, that's
inshallah.
Maybe worse than
God save the Queen, man.
That might be worse. Inshallah from John Cornyn might be worse than
God save the Queen, man.
What does it cost? Inshallah.
Weird. So weird. And neither one of them are explicable. Neither one. You can't explain either one of them.
Hold on, if he hasn't addressed that, I hope he does. I hope somebody follows up.
Yeah, somebody's got to.
Because that's ridiculous,
it's
man.
Freaky. It's freaky. Earlier, we showed the Israeli embassy fire in Mexico City. It was a big day in Mexico yesterday. The Mexican state of Guerrero, mayoral candidate Alfredo Cabrera was assassinated in broad daylight. This is really tough to watch. If your kids are around, you might not want to have them watch this. It is blurred out, so it's not graphic, but it is disturbing.
You'll see the gun right here at his head. This is bad.
Oh my gosh. Wow,
and then
yeah. Jeez.
Yeah,
he got off more shots?
16. I counted 16 there.
Or was that somebody shooting at him?
Oh, yeah. I think the first 14.
Good golly. Wow. Yeah, this keeps happening in Mexico. It's things are not terribly stable in that country. That might surprise you.
Huh.
I want to break it to you as gently as I can. Mexico might not be the most stable of nations right now.
Just imagine, it would suck if you were a neighbor to that country and you had this really long border. Of course, if you did, you would obviously...
Like a 2,000-mile border with that country?
You'd work to protect it, obviously. You don't want that stuff spilling over.
You'd have to...
Yeah, I'm saying if
you'd have to be super vigilant.
If you were...
To keep some of those criminals from coming across the border.
The neighbor of that country.
Yeah, let's say a country that was higher in murders by far than the country that's north of them.
Well,
let's say they had like 35,000 murders a year.
You're just going to hope
you wouldn't want a lot of those murders pouring across the border.
No.
So you would guard that border very, very carefully.
Inshallah.
Yeah, exactly. What you said, Keith. Exactly. So
that's tough.
Everything's fine. Don't even worry about it. When you're, part of a team, everything's awesome.
Everything's awesome. Okay.
How about something fun? Since it's been a pretty heavy day, we got this guy who got a court summons because he was driving without a license.
Okay.
So then he goes on Zoom I guess he didn't appear in court, but he did a Zoom call with the judge.
Yeah, and remember, he has a suspended license as we speak.
Yeah, for driving without a license.
Is that what the original charge was?
Yeah. So here's
he dials in for this court case.
Yeah.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate for Mr. Harris, who should be present via Zoom.
Oh, there he is.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Judge.
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second.
He's
I'm parking right now.
Oblivious that he's
completely
Look at the judge throw his pen here.
Wait. The judge is like, wait, this can't be right. You can't be serious.
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second.
Still oblivious.
Yes, I am.
Still oblivious as to the issue here.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving.
Mm-hmm.
And
Watch the guy's face. Watch the guy's face.
He didn't have a license.
Yeah. Hello. That is so great.
That's what the charge is, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that is correct.
His face is priceless.
Your Honor.
Shell-shocked.
His lawyer is admitting, yeah, that's correct, Your Honor. Yeah.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter.
He's a dumbass.
Defendant is turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
Wow.
Look at his face.
Yeah, moron.
Nice effect. So he's gone to jail by 6 o'clock that evening. Turn yourself in or a bench warrant.
Because there he is, trying to get that dismissed with the judge. As he's driving again without a license in front of the judge.
Yeah, I'm about to pull into my doctor's office here, so just chill. Yo, Your Honor, just be cool for just 30 seconds.
Hang on, I'm pulling in right now.
Okay.
It's been a lot of traffic.
Okay, so what were we doing again today, Your Honor? I forgot. Why am I here?
My gosh.
I
mean, that's incredible.
He was
completely oblivious.
Which shows
to
that
it.
He's been just driving around.
Oh yeah,
doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
I mean,
if anybody deserves the 3 or 4 days in jail or whatever he's going to spend, it's that guy right there.
You are.
Yeah. Finally, the realization hits him. What a moron I am.
Wow.
Yeah. Oopsie daisies. Did you see that? Remember the thing we were talking about with Graceland being auctioned?
Right. What a mess.
Because of the supposed $3.8 million loan that I guess Lisa Marie took out supposedly and then didn't pay off. And so they were going to foreclose on Graceland and auction it off. A Nigerian scammer just admitted.
No.
That was them.
This story gets better and better.
They tried to steal Graceland by coming up with these fake documents, and they were going to auction it off. Oh my gosh! Fortunately, though, Elvis's granddaughter said, "No, this isn't right, and I'm going to take this to court," and she did. And that's when the company just kind of went away and skulked off. But now they're so proud of what they did because they almost got it done that they want everybody to know this is what we do. We figure out how to steal. That's what we do. That's what the guy said.
And this was a quote from the federal government?
Yeah, that would be appropriate, wouldn't it? The scammer said, I had fun figuring this one out, but it didn't succeed very well this time. During the interview, the person reportedly spoke out about targeting elderly victims and other vulnerable groups for financial scams. Jeez. So that's great that they headed this off. Elvis purchased the 14-acre Graceland property in Memphis in 1957 when he was 22 years old. And he paid just over $100,000 for the mansion and the grounds. Then he spent the following years making it as ugly as possible, decking it out in leopard stripe and pink and orange and green and whatever else.
Hold on. You just said that he made it as ugly as possible. Then you said he added leopard skin, pink, and
right. Yeah.
What are you saying?
That's not exactly my taste.
I see.
So maybe to you that is beautiful.
It sounds lovely.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I've never actually been to Graceland. I've seen pictures of it. I think, has Jeffy been there? Have we asked him if he's actually even been to Memphis?
Been out front with a candle before at Graceland.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't been to Graceland because I've been inside homes with wood paneling.
Yeah.
And bad carpet.
And you don't love it?
And just no.
Yeah.
Stuck in the 70s from what I understand.
Okay.
But no, I've never been there. I'm sure it's.
I haven't either.
Let's see. Now here comes any minute now. I'll get the text or I'll get the message here from Jeffy. First of all, I'm standing by, waiting for him to stick up for the king.
Also, another update on a story that we had earlier: the Chechen spies that one of which got shot and killed.
Yeah, we discussed this in overtime the other day.
At a special operator's home in North Carolina. The guy was there supposedly for a utility company from New Jersey. But he shows up on this guy's property, and it's the home of a special forces operator. And he comes out and confronts the guy. The guy got aggressive with him, and he shot and killed him. It turned out that this utility worker had no utility equipment on him. Wasn't dressed in a utility worker uniform, had no equipment with him. All they had were cameras there to photograph this guy's home. They were obviously surveilling him. And it kind of leads you to wonder, are they doing this all over the place to special operators, to Navy SEALs and Army Rangers and Delta Force all over the country? Carthage, by the way, that's where this happened. Carthage, North Carolina. It's about 30 minutes away from Fort Liberty, which used to be Fort Bragg. And so that's apparently where he's stationed. According to Moore County Sheriff Ronnie Fields, the special operations soldier spotted the man photographing his property. When he confronted him, the man became aggressive, prompting the soldier to open fire, killing him. When police arrived on the scene, they found the deceased body of the suspect, Chechen criminal alien Ramzan Dariev, 35 years old. There was also another illegal Chechen there who was his driver, and he was questioned but released somehow. When they did confirm, though, that a camera with sophisticated telephoto lenses was found on Dariev's body. So the only thing he had on him was his camera with the sophisticated telephoto lens. No utility equipment whatsoever. But his family is all up in arms, saying that Ramzan was not armed and did not show any aggression towards the killer. At the place where reports of the completed work were taken by Ramzan, the inhabitant confronted him on the curbside, armed with a firearm, and found him working when he suddenly decided to take his life. Yeah, I'm sure that's just how it went down. For an unknown reason, according to Ramzan's family, this man fired several shots and brutally took the life of Ramzan, who was 35 years old and had big plans for his future life. Ramzan left Russia not realizing that the greatest injustice against him would be done in a free country where, in theory, he should have received protection. They always try to use our freedoms against us, don't they? They make us feel guilty. They hope that we're just naive buffoons who just eat up their propaganda garbage. These men, again, had no utility equipment on them. He wasn't finishing any kind of work at all. What kind of work are they doing with no equipment? And how would they know? How would his family know whether he was aggressive or not? Were they there?
Yeah.
And of course, no, they were not there.
It seems like he ran to the electrical line like, look, I'm working on this over here.
Yeah.
And Lance just informed me, I didn't realize this, this is the same county where the electrical boxes were shot up recently, about 6 months ago maybe. Is that what it was?
Oh, wow.
So that's interesting.
Really? That is interesting.
Huh.
Wonder if that's connected in any way. They also said it was on the curbside. The police said it was 2,500 yards into the guy's property. It was not curbside. So he got aggressive with him.
Well, yeah, there's already...
He had no equipment. He's surveilling him. Something really weird going on here.
Change.org set up a charity or something, petition, whatever, for this guy. So
for the special operator, right? Not the Chechen.
No.
Okay, good.
No.
No.
For
it
the
is
Chechen.
for the Chechen?
For the Chechen guy. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Really?
It's fun stuff.
Yeah, that's fun stuff.
This is
Inshallah!
Pat Gray Unleashed.